Hello and welcome to today's Pick a Card. Today we have a once-in-a-lifetime conjunction happening in the sky, which is Jupiter and Neptune are having a conjunction in Pisces. So I thought we would harness this energy by going a little bit more abstract today. So we are taking a look at what are your dreams trying to tell you? What are your dreams trying to tell you? So as you can see, I've prepared 3 piles of some oracle cards already. We will be picking a lot more cards in the respective spreads, but for now we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So I picked out some crystals to go with today's reading. On pile number 1, we have celestite, which is a beautiful Piscean vibe kind of rock. So I think this goes very well. And then we have this color scheme, which is kind of like in the dark purples, light to dark purples. We have Ash Grove, Tin Lizzie, Silverado, and Blackberry at the bottom. So that is pile number 1. Pile number 2, we have an Angel Aura Rose Quartz and these colors that range from Hydrangea Floret to Pine Whisper, Birch Forest, English Ivy, and Pine Forest at the bottom. Some lovely greens. And then we have pile number 3. This is a beautiful glass crystal. Also very dreamlike, and these colors that start off at apricot cream, birthday cake, reindeer, parfait, Ferris wheel, canyon stone, sweet spice berry. Very deep, rich red at the end there. So I'm going to give you a moment. Again, we are taking a look today at what your dreams are trying to tell you. I'm going to give you a moment. Just see which pile calls you the most, and as always, you will find your reading and timestamps in the description below. I will find you at your reading. Hi, pile 1. This is your reading if you chose this beautiful celestite along with these purplish lavender colors. Celestite is a great crystal to meditate with if you're trying to connect with spirit. It is a very uplifting crystal. So let's see. As I said, I want to kind of keep it a little bit abstract today. We're gonna be very open, and we're gonna see what comes out. I am gonna keep these for a little bit later. But to start off, we are going to be pulling some tarot cards. And again, the focus is on what are your dreams trying to tell you? So we have a lot of signifiers of the dream world that are strongly communicating with us right now. That is Neptune and Pisces, which Neptune rules Pisces, so it's quite quite at home there. And it's this thinning of the veil. It is this blurring of borders and what is real, and it's really about feeling our way through this experience. And so I think quite fittingly I chose to use my Dolly Tarot deck for this reading. We are trying to keep it abstract. Look at these cards. I'm taking whatever feels right because that's what this reading is all about. Okay, and typically I do 4, but right now, typically I do 4 per row, but right now I'm feeling called to do just 3, so let's see what happens. Ooh, wow, a jumper. This is very interesting. Immediately I'm feeling a vibe. I'm feeling like there might be a decision that you are making in regards to a work situation. There might be, so we're looking at what are your dreams trying to tell you, right? Your dreams are trying to guide you towards more stability. We have the 4 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Your dreams are trying to guide you. This is very clearly, this feels like you being in a dream state. Wow, okay, I'm getting so much immediately. This feels like some kind of guide. There is something that you are setting out sail for, that Spirit is trying to show you. Look at how he is standing so close to these wands. And if you think of the perspective that this person might have standing so close to the wands, all they see is the wands, it might feel like they are actually caged in by the wands. And yet we are standing back, we are a bit removed from the situation, and we can see that he is in fact not caged in by these. This feels strongly like there's this element of something guiding you. This can be your intuition, this can be spirit, this can be an ancestor, this can be some kind of guidance that you are receiving in your dreams, to look out for something that is either going to be arriving or that you are meant to follow. And underneath that, down here, we have the Queen of Coins. And look at the way that this creature here is somewhat connected, looking like it's directly speaking into her ear. Again, it feels like there is some sort of guidance happening. It feels like it's not just happening in your dreams. Like there is some kind of guidance that you are well aware of, but it is also being emphasized in your dreams. And it is about something that is precious to you. Your dreams are guiding you to be decisive and to be empowered. We have the Emperor and we have the Knight of Swords. Your dreams are telling you to take action. I'm hearing take the throne. It's like the throne is sitting empty and all you need to do is sit down on it. There's something that really means a lot to you. We have this pentacle here, and then we have the Two of Cups here. There's something that is really meaningful to you, and I'm hearing it's yours for the taking. And this can be many different things. I'm getting strong work vibes here, like whether you're starting something, whether you're going back to school, whether you are starting a business. This is very much that, but this also speaks to me about having the support of your loved ones, which goes back to the Four of Wands as well. Four of Wands is very much like a stable, happy home energy. This is a very supportive. Your dreams are telling you go for it. I'm feeling called to roll a die and just get some zodiac energy here. Let's see what we're looking at. We got Gemini, and I think it's cute how it landed right on the Two of Cups. I'm feeling like, and again, I'm being called to look at these three wands that in perspective are so close to him that they might feel like they're caging him in. And we have the scales of justice here. It feels like you might be considering two options, whether that is for career or you're trying to balance two lives, whether that is career and private, work, rest, like work, what is that called? Work-life balance. And it seems like it's difficult because you are very motivated, and so you might be someone that tends to throw all their energy at something, at a project, and your dreams are telling you to rest and to keep in mind that your home life, the harmony at home is something that is worth protecting. Okay, so let's take a look at your oracle cards, and then we're going to pull some more because I love pulling oracle cards. Break the chain. Ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Breaking the chain is very much, not this breaking out of this perspective of like, oh, I have to do this, I have to stay here and do this. Like, no, you're not stuck here. You can join this boat that you're trying. Traditionally, the Three of Wands is waiting for your ships to come in, but this is not what I'm getting in this context. This is wanting to join the boat that's leaving, it feels like. And this break the chain feels like acknowledging that this is a matter of perspective and that it is in your power to, like this says, rewrite the future. And then also healing, we have this aspect of you needing to rest. That rest is just as valuable as the work that you put in. We have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune indicating that there is a change happening within you. I'm taking these cards, again, we're keeping it a bit more abstract. We're not going off of traditional tarot meanings. I'm reading these in context to what your dreams are trying to tell you. So seeing the Wheel of Fortune is, again, in context to what we already have, feels very much like you, because I'm thinking of the Wheel of Fortune when they, when they spin it. It's on you to spin it. It's on you to get it moving, which is going to break this chain. But also, again, I'm feeling strongly called to, because these flowers are somehow making me think about it, being strongly called to break the chain in this context feels very much like not being tied to your work. not letting your work run your entire life, but also remembering that you have a life outside of that, and that requires balance and attention as well. And then we have rainbow. And how beautiful is that? Because in order to see a rainbow, we have to experience two things at once, which is sunshine and rain. So again, there's this duality here. There's this in-between. You might be in a phase of in-between in your life in general, and your dreams are trying to tell you that it's okay to be in this in-between. It's okay to feel your way through the in-between, but ultimately it is on you to take some action. And I'm feeling two different things. For some of you, I think it is a matter of making a decision, and for others it's a matter of learning specifically how to balance two things. Okay, I'm going to pull some more oracle cards to get some more advice on what your dreams are trying to tell you. We have honey. Honey, very much talking about enjoying sweetness of life, enjoying the fruits of your labor as well, and not just focusing on the labor itself. And once again, you have some flyers. Let me pick them up. We have the garden, and we have the sun and eclipse, which again, the sun and eclipse is this dual nature. The sun is shining and yet it's eclipsed, so there's darkness. Lots of duality in your dreams. So your dreams might be trying to help you digest that duality. So I'm hearing multiple truths can hold true at the same time. You might be someone that typically struggles with duality. You might prefer having, especially because you have this Emperor energy, you might prefer, and the Knight of Swords, sorry, you might prefer having a clear direction, having a clear, very defined parameters of your situation. Like I'm getting like Capricorn energy, just like wanting to control things via gaining as much information as you can from them. And so your dreams are telling you to kind of loosen your grip on that, because you have to be comfortable with the in-between, be comfortable with the duality of life. Yeah. I think the Two of Cups plays into that as well. And then we have the garden, which again I think goes very well with honey and enjoying, when you have a garden, there are a lot of times throughout the year that you're investing a lot of effort into the garden, but then there are those like afternoons and evenings that you get to sit and just enjoy it and just bask in it and smell all the flowers that you've planted, that you've taken care of. And that is just as important as planting it. Appreciating it is just as important. And I think that's what your dreams are trying to tell you. I'm going to get one last oracle card. I don't want to run this too much into the ground. I want to keep it kind of sweet and short. Some things that you might be seeing are water, oceanscapes, probably busy waters is what I'm hearing, but I mean like waters in motion. You might be seeing snakes, flowers, you might even be seeing rainbows. There may be things that you're seeing double. So you might be seeing pairs of things, 2 cups. Literally the 2 of cups here, right? 2 of cups, you might, especially because we have Gemini here too, you might be seeing 2 birds, 2 types of one animal. Something of that nature might be something that's reoccurring in your dreams. And also right now I'm hearing like a splitting off of yourself. I'm hearing a mirror. You might be seeing, I just heard coffee cup and cinnamon. I don't know. Hidden powers. Cloaked by the sands of time, rediscover the divine healer in you. Hidden powers is definitely this Emperor. Your dreams are trying to tell you that you have a lot of power and control within you, and I think you, as we discussed, are stuck in this perspective of like, well, I can't move before I do this, or I can't move because of this. Your dreams are very strongly saying like, what are you talking about? You are the Emperor, you are the Knight of Swords, you are the Queen of Coins, you are justice, you create your justice, you create your world. Very strong. This is very much about empowerment and learning to accept the duality of things. And then we also have at the bottom of the deck, space out. One's destination is never a place, but always a new way of seeing things. And that just perfectly wraps up what I was saying in the very beginning. A new way of seeing things is also this rainbow, accepting and feeling this time of the in-between and the duality of life. Like, this is just a beautiful summary of that. So, because that wraps it up perfectly, I'm going to leave it there, and I hope this was in any way interesting. I hope it confirms something, and if you happen to not remember your dreams at this time, maybe now going forward, pay attention and try to keep a dream journal, or just take note of things that just snippets that you remember, and in time you'll remember more and more, and perhaps coming back to this will be helpful at some point. So, thank you for joining me today, and I hope to read for you again sometime. Bye. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. If you chose this Angel Aura Rose Quartz, there you can kind of see the aura. And these beautiful greens. Then this is your reading. We're going to set these up here for now. And along with these oracle cards, we will check on these later. So for now, as I said in the opening, we're going to keep it a little bit more abstract. We are taking a look at what are your dreams trying to tell you. I'm going to be pulling some cards first from my Dolly tarot deck, because I think that's very fitting when we're talking about going abstract. So let's get some cards. What are your dreams trying to tell you? Pile 2. This one. Alright, we got the Chariot. Got the 2 of Cups. That also came out in the previous reading. We got the Sun. Right, these are some nice cards. We got the Seven of Cups. There we go. Here's the juicy parts. Feeling you want to move, you want to get going, but some confusion, some hesitation around which direction. There is something or someone that you care about deeply. Yep. There's something or someone that you care about deeply. And you... Okay, let me see. Like I said, we had this in the previous reading, and yet in the previous reading it felt more personal. I don't know if you can hear it, but there is a very loud airplane going by overhead right now. In this reading, it does feel a lot more romantic. It does, and I'm feeling, especially with the Sun here, it feels like there is somebody who is very important to you. Okay, let me see. I'm getting a lot of things. I kind of feel like you might be trying to move away from someone, and it's leaving you in a state of confusion because emotionally you are still tied to this person. If this is not a person, this could be an idea, a passion that you have, something that you are definitely have been invested in the past. But something is telling you to move on because there will not be any fruit to harvest from this situation. And I think your dreams are talking to you, trying to communicate with you, coming through very strongly. We have the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck, coming through very strongly through your intuition, and I think you have a pretty clear idea of what your dreams are trying to tell you already, and this will serve as confirmation thereof. I do also want to point out that, of course, we were using this rose quartz, which is a crystal for love, for sure. So I'm not surprised that there are some love elements popping in here. Again, whether this is a love that you have for another person or whether it is a love that you have for something that you do, it feels like whatever it is, it's causing you some fracture. Very specific word there. And it's very interesting because technically, like I said, this first row was it felt very positive. And then in context with what we have down here, it feels like it almost feels like the positive aspects are actually dragging you down. It's like the potential is dragging you down, the potential of something. This does feel very... There is this image here of this lady that is really kind of depressed and just hanging her head, and there's this fruit that is attracting bats, and it just feels, I'm just getting this idea of fruit, ripe for the picking and just rotting away. And also this may feel like, because I'm going back to what your dreams are trying to tell you, this might be your dreams telling you that there is a situation that you are involved in that is not fully living up to its potential. I think there are a lot of things that are distracting you. I feel strongly like you, if it were up to you, you would want to move forward with this project or person. But it seems like it's not really in your control. What are your dreams trying to tell you? Your dreams are trying to tell you the sun. Typically the sun is the most positive card in the deck, right? However, I'm reading these cards, as I said, in a more abstract way today. We are reading these in context. And in context, the sun is not giving me... The sun is giving me blinding. This is not giving me illumination. This is giving me blinding. This is giving me, alongside with the Seven of Cups down here, is giving me distraction. I also want to point out that this doesn't necessarily have to be about another person. I'm getting now too that your dreams might be telling you that you are wearing a false mask, that you are not being honest with yourself about a certain situation, that you are pretending that there is more potential than there is, or that something is more light-hearted than it is. Perhaps you are avoiding the potential. Because a potential, there's a lyric that that's coming to mind. My potential is a double-edged sword. That's a Raleigh Ritchie song. My potential is a double-edged sword. This feels strongly like this can be someone else's potential. This can be the potential of a venture. This can be the potential of a relationship. But this can also be the potential within you that is really kind of causing you to want to run. Because something has the potential to be amazing, but it also has just as much potential to I heard, cut you down. I want to take a look at your oracle cards now. We have leap. You go first, the universe will catch you. This feels very much because we have the Chariot here. I do think that you have this instinct to leap into something, and I think it scares you. Let's see what else you have. We have the Tower. So typically the Tower can be somewhat of an intimidating card because it's usually an external event that we are not prepared for, and that really kind of changes the outcome of things. But look at how sweet it looks in this deck. This is a more pleasant looking tower. But also I'm getting this energy of the fact that it's raining flowers is interesting. This is this energy of blessings. And we have, this is a 16, which reduces to a 7, which is about relationships. I really wonder if you are... It's difficult for me to say which part you're playing in this. I really do feel somebody is avoiding potential. There's something that has potential and somebody is avoiding it. And it's difficult to say which one you are in, and it's going to be different for different people. So you need to use discernment and recognize, are you the one that's all in, or are you the one that's hesitant in this situation? If you are the one that's all in, then take with a grain of salt the fact that I did get this energy that something is blinding, something is confusing, something is not quite as it should be. If you are the one that is hesitant, I'm feeling a much more calm, gentle energy that is saying, like, let's try something. And the other oracle card we have here is wisdom. And how do we gain wisdom? We gain wisdom by via experience. And this wisdom card goes very well with the High Priestess too. Again, I urge you to use discernment and be very clear on what you are already feeling instinctively, what your intuition is already trying to relay, because that is what I'm here to confirm. I'm not here to tell you anything other than what your intuition is already leaning towards, okay? So I do feel that there is an energy here of you being guided towards a potential. Again, if you are the one that's hesitant, I think that the other way I'm seeing this right now is this almost feels like hunger, and this fruit is right there. It's like it's right there for the picking. That's why I heard ripe for the picking earlier, right? Being overwhelmed with options, but being distracted by options when there's something that is... I think also what might be blinding you is this idea of perfection and looking for the perfect person to fulfill that potential that you feel is in your life. Queen, I mean, goes very well with the High Priestess. I will say, I don't think you have struggles with acknowledging your worth. I think your intuition is very spot on. Guides. You are being guided. This Chariot is trying to take you. It almost feels like Spirit being like, okay, well, you know, the car's all gassed up. Are you ready to go? We have adapt to change. Third, we had the Tower. And remember I said that this feels actually kind of positive. I do feel this feels like a positive change in love, and it's overwhelming to you. And I think that's perhaps why you are hesitant. Again, if you are not the hesitant party, then someone else might be hesitant and it's confusing you. Wow, see, this is why dreams are so difficult to deal with, because it could go many ways. I mean, I'm hoping this makes sense to you. I'm a little lost myself. Like I get the cornerstones of what we're looking at here, but I could see this going many ways, which I think is one of the issues that you deal with in your dreams as well, is that you could see things going many ways. We have the Seven of Cups here. You could see things going many different ways, where all things begin. If you wish to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first invent the universe. Starting from scratch. And again, I'm getting potential, like starting from scratch, and yet you especially with this, if you wish to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first invent the universe. And then what does the universe hold? It holds so much potential. You could do literally anything once you of course you need the universe first. You need to create it before you can make apple pie, because that's what holds the ingredients for apple pie. And yet once you've created the universe, it's like, whoa, like now I can do anything. Are you going to forget about the apple pie? I know this is so abstract, but I hope it makes sense to you. Because that part did kind of make sense to me. It's like wanting to... It's like having a goal in mind. Again, I'm thinking about the potential, you know? Having this idea of like, oh... Specifically, let's say, like, having this idea, like, oh, when I have a partner, he has to be such and such. She has to be like this or that. They need to have this or that. They need to accomplish this or that in their life already. And then having worked on yourself in a way that opens you up to actually receiving love, and then realizing that your potential to receive love opens you up so much more to all kinds of different people, and that the parameters that you set previously aren't like, they don't hold up anymore. There's a lot here about potential and expectation and confusion. Don't look back. You're not going that way. Let go of the past. Use healing crystals to help facilitate the process of letting go. Try rutilated quartz, smoky quartz, aquamarine, or citrine. Don't look back is very much the Chariot energy. And if we think back to our prompt, what are your dreams trying to tell you? And then we have the Chariot coming out first. It's like, get in, loser. We're not looking back. But I think, and put in that context now, I am feeling like there is, again, I said this at the beginning, it feels like there's somebody that you hold in high regard, and it feels like you might have put them on a pedestal of some sort, and now finding someone to fit into that role, that cast that you've created, that you've molded. You've molded this cast in the image of someone particular, and so now you're trying to fill that role, and everyone you meet is like, no, that doesn't fit the cast that I've created. And I think that is what you're supposed to release. Again, we're talking about releasing potential, releasing expectation. Okay. I hope that made sense, and I hope that was helpful. I hope that confirmed something for you. You know what? I just remembered for the other group, I did get a roll of this zodiac die, so let's see if we can get a vibe here. Aries. Aries is very much like moving on, like full steam ahead. And Aries is about yourself. It's about your ego. It's about focusing on your needs and wants. So I think that's what your dreams are trying to tell you. Forget the potential. Focus on your needs and wants for now. Okay. I hope that was more helpful than it was confusing. I hope it makes way more sense to you than it does to me. I'm not the one having these dreams, so I hope it works. I wish you all the best, and thank you for joining me today. I hope to read for you again sometime. Bye. Hi, pile 3. If you chose this beautiful, clear glass crystal, this is your reading, along with these reds. We're going to put this up here alongside with the oracle cards that we have already pulled. We will take a look at those later. So again, we are looking today at what are your dreams trying to tell you. We're taking a more abstract approach. I'm hoping that whatever comes out makes sense to you, because it's a little bit more challenging for me, because I'm not the one who's having these dreams. So we're going to pick some cards from my Dolly Tarot deck, because what deck better to pick apart our dreams. So pile 3, what are your dreams trying to tell you? We got the 2 of Swords. What are your dreams trying to tell you? The Empress. Interesting. In the first reading, in this position, we had the Emperor. What are your dreams trying to tell you? Okay. Oh. Interesting. This one. Wow, we just had the 7 of Cups in this position in the previous reading. The Moon. I love this Moon card. Okay. And the Strength. Wow. Okay, this is very powerful. Your dreams are trying to, it feels like your dreams are trying to come to terms with something. And immediately I'm thinking this is not a specific healing crystal or anything like that, but you know, it's clear, so that immediately it was giving me this vibe of clarity, right? And that's what I'm seeing strongly in this reading already. There's a desire for clarity. We have the 2 of Swords here, and we have the 7 of Cups, which both are cards of confusion, wanting to make a decision, wanting to choose a path. Like they want to overcome this position that they are in. The 2 of Swords, the imagery, usually the person holding the swords is blindfolded and feeling kind of lost, right? So immediately after that, though, we have the Empress and the Moon. And this feels very much like your dreams are telling you, like, to trust in your intuition and to get in touch with the natural flow of your emotions. I'm getting very much like nurturing, I mean, it's the Empress and the Moon. These are 2 symbols of mothering. These are 2 symbols of nurturance. These are 2 symbols of fullness and beauty. Your dreams are, it feels like your dreams are finding you in a state of confusion, and they are trying to guide you towards clarity and stability, especially because we have the Four of Wands here and we have the Strength. Your dreams are very clearly trying to tell you, look at how strong you are, look at how powerful you are, look at how magnetic you are, look at how incredible you are. They might be using very specific ways that only make sense to you to say these things. They might be, I just heard embracing. I think they want you to embrace these aspects of yourself. You are feeling very distorted. I'm seeing cotton candy. I don't know why. I'm seeing cotton candy and also caramel apple. I'm seeing apple seeds. I'm seeing a banana. I swear I'm not hungry. I just closed my eyes and got a bunch of... I'm seeing a kite. These are all images that you might be encountering in your dreams. Wind. A pie. I don't know why it's all food-based, but it might have to do with the fact that we have the Empress here, right? Like it's and it's just about it's about nurturance. I just heard like a jingling of keys. I think that you are a force, and your dreams are wanting to... We have the Page of Coins at the bottom of the deck here, and Temperance underneath that. It feels very much like your dreams are trying to remind you to savor. That's not what I wanted to say, but that came through. To appreciate the beautiful aspects of who you are becoming. I just saw a walnut being cracked open. You're being cracked open. This is a very powerful reading. Like I'm getting way more visuals than I did with the other ones. There's a very heavily visual aspect to you, which makes sense with the moon as well. Again, very intuitive, very visual, receptor. And I think that you may be someone that receives visual guidance, or that thinks in very visual ways, and you may have been struggling with that lately because you don't feel like you see things as they are right now. There's some kind of obstruction, there's some kind of fog that is keeping you just fragmented. It just feels very confusing on this end, but very clearly your dreams are like, don't worry, like you will find your body. That's the thing. This feels very mental, and then we go into like this is very much about like finding and leaning into like the natural rhythm of your body and honoring that. There's an aspect of honoring and then celebrating how strong your body is. This is really beautiful. I'm gonna pick up the oracle cards now and we'll see where this takes us. We have Starseed, what lights you up? Which in itself is kind of vague, right? But this is really about, if we take a look at the imagery of these two cards together, it's just popping out to me right now, how it's pretty similar. And again, we have lots of water. What lights you up? I think your dreams want you to focus more on what lights you up and less on those things that confuse you. Because, as I said earlier, this feels like a fog, right? A fog is a cloudiness, a darkening of the light. So focusing on what does light you up, what lights do you recognize within yourself, focusing on that, and letting that guide you. Yes, we have the Magician, very much in this depiction, feeding your own curiosity, feeding your own creativity. Again, going back to this nurturance and just how powerful you are. Your dreams are definitely trying to tell you you are a lot more powerful than you are currently giving yourself credit for. And we have Justice, giving yourself credit for. We have Justice. This is very much like not... it's almost like you're being too hard on yourself. That's what this feels like. Like your dreams are telling you that the judgments that you are making, you're making them... Okay, so you see how in many depictions the Lady Justice is blindfolded, right? In this one, because it represents Themis, she is not. But she represents justice here. But this is a very common depiction that Lady Justice will hold the scales of justice in one hand and then the sword in another. The sword is to cast judgment. The scales are to cast judgment, and then the sword is to cast punishment. Well, you're in this place of wielding two swords. You're double fisting it with swords, and this just feels like you're not in a place of a truly weighing judgment. Like you're being too judgmental. Like you've already made this judgment upon yourself, and then you're just casting punishment around you, whether that is with other people or yourself. And if it is with other people, then your dreams are asking you to be more nurturing and more empathetic for the purpose of harmony and stability. And in that case, then the Strength card is asking you to control your judgment in a sense, and your judgments, because we have a multitude here. Okay, I'm going to pull some more oracle cards. Overall, I think your dreams are trying to remind you of the responsibility that you're facing, but also of the beauty that lies within that responsibility. And I'm thinking of like the responsibility of motherhood, whether you are male or female. Like you still can identify with the responsibility of motherhood, right? And we're talking about motherhood because we have the Empress and the Moon. So this is just very much about, because, for example, fatherhood, we're not trying to be so binary, right? But just in terms of archetypes, the identity of fatherhood is about teaching lessons. We're thinking of Saturn and the Sun. It's about teaching responsibility. The archetype of motherhood, on the other end, is more about teaching nurturance and teaching responsibility within the parameters of empathy and nurturance. So again, whether you are male or female, this feels very much like reminding yourself of a softness. And softness does not equal weakness. We have the Strength card here. But reminding yourself of the softness that a nurturing energy holds, the space that motherly energy holds. Let go. Oh, and look at how there is this like almost tortured looking, like wild creature in her arm, and it's like let go of that harshness, that aggression. Your dreams are trying to remind you to soften, for sure. Because again, this is very much connecting to the two swords, wielding two swords instead of one. We have dive in. This card for me is always about shadow work. Diving in, meaning like stepping into the unknown, and facing our shadow, facing our darker sides, but also just diving into ourselves and taking in all aspects, not just, I think it's very easy for us to examine our faults and examine where we are being, where we are not living up to our expectations, but it's very difficult for us to examine where we are actually exceeding expectations that we didn't know we had set, or where we are doing well, where we are doing just fine. We have portal. It does feel like this is the 23 reduces to a 5, so it does feel like you're at the, and we have the veil at the bottom of the deck. This does feel like you are at a point in time where you are stepping into a different version of yourself. And I think that's why you are possibly kind of in this state of confusion. But I think there is a softening happening. There is a maturing happening. And there is a vulnerability that is popping up that makes you uncomfortable and makes you want to wield two swords because you're trying to protect yourself. But your dreams are trying to tell you that, remember, the nurturing and trusting and loving power that you hold, that is enough to protect you. You don't need two swords. You need one sword and one scale. Let's get a zodiac vibe for this reading, and then we're going to pull two more oracle cards. All right, we have Sagittarius. This is definitely about Sagittarius energy is the Hierophant. So I'm getting with this as well, you know, like taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture, not being so reactive, but coming from a place of higher grounds. And Jupiter rules Sagittarius, which is also just beautiful, expansive, and positive energy. You know, Jupiter is like the planet that goes around giving every other planet a hug, especially Neptune right now. Like, they're hugging it out. They love hugs. So this just feels like your dreams are trying to give you a big, nice hug and tell you like you are doing just fine. And even if, okay, that doesn't necessarily mean that your dreams are all rainbows and butterflies right now. Even if your dreams are kind of scary and kind of confusing at this point in time, what they're trying to tell you, the message that they're trying to relay, is how strong you are and how you are meant to embrace this transition into the Empress and the Moon, into this nurturing energy. Okay, we're going to pull two more oracle cards, and then done. We got Pioneer. Ride the energy of your own unique spirit. And Pioneer, I mean, is very much like A pioneer is somebody that goes somewhere on their own, not necessarily like alone, but a group of pioneers, for example, go together but still alone. They go somewhere where they haven't gone before. So this is like not knowing like how things will turn out, but trusting that you have the ability and the strength to follow through and to accomplish what it is you need to accomplish. Breathe if you want to conquer the anxiety of life, live in the moment, and live in the breath. Very much talking about, just kind of sitting in stillness and appreciating, which is what we had said earlier here. We also have embrace your growth, which is also what we've been talking about. So with that, I think that pretty much sums it up. I think your dreams are trying to tell you that you are headed into a phase of life where you are expanding in a very beautiful way, and you are meant to embrace that with all its scary, vulnerable parts. I hope that this helped. I hope that this confirmed some things for you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to read for you again sometime. Bye.